We as feminine women are often more insecure about saying no to requests, especially when requests are said in a very kind and personal way. And we often wonder if it was right to say no to a request. Oftentimes we even take our no back and are not consequent with our decisions. But remember, every no to someone's request is a yes to yourself. If with this no you are protecting yourself from overgiving, overdoing, or performing something that you really don't want to perform. In my video, I will give you 5 tips on how to communicate your no in a feminine but very consequent way so that people respect you and you will still, of course, stay the gentle and soft person that you are. You won't become selfish by that and you won't feel heartless. My tips shall simply give you strength and help you to stay loyal to yourself in future. Hello my dear viewers, my name is Malena. If you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I highly encourage you to click that subscribe button. It is free of course, and also activate the notification bell next to the subscribe button, because only then you will be notified when I upload a new video. So join my community and let's start with tip number 1. Take time to think about it. So if someone has a request and asks you and wants something from you, then ask for some time to think about it. Have a portfolio of possible answers, such as, I need to check my calendar first, or excuse me, but I first need to talk to ... and say the person before I can decide. Or, I can't tell you yet, please give me some time to check my possibilities. I will get back to you ... And always tell them a time when you will get back to them. And then stick to it. Because of course, as high value women, we don't play around or trick around. So if you say, I will get back to you the next day, in the evening or in 1 hour, then also do that. Oftentimes with bigger requests, it really helps to simply sleep over it. So you can just sleep, and in the morning you will usually have more concrete feeling about what answer you should give. Tip number 2. Redirect the request. So when you say no, that doesn't mean that you don't want to help that person. It can also mean that you simply are not the right person to help the other, or you don't consider yourself the right person. Try to communicate that you are not seeing yourself as the right person and redirect to someone else. This could be just someone else you know, it could be a colleague, it could be an organization, or even someone professional. And if you want to be extra nice, you could even do the research for the person and find out someone who could help. Number 3. Don't get involved in any discussions. I know there are people who are very dominant, and if they want something from you and they ask you and you say no, they will try to persuade you, they will try to become very personal, to downplay the effort that it would actually take you. And that can become very, very uncomfortable, especially when you are an emotional person or empathetic and rather sensitive person. So how can you cope and deal with such persons? Stick to your decision and say that you understand them, but then state your no. So you can say, I really understand that you need that and that it's very, very urgent for you and you want me to help. And I appreciate that you're thinking about me, but as I already said, I cannot ... And if the person again tries to convince you, then repeat this and repeat it again and again. This way you will become unbreakable. Tip number 4. Look at feelings of guilt in a rational way. So what I mean by that? Of course, we tend to have those feelings of guilt when we say no, especially if you are a very helpful person by nature. You might experience this uncomfortable feeling of guilt. But make yourself clear, very clear, that it is very normal for those feelings to arise, because this doesn't mean you are a bad person. It just means that in that moment there is a conflict that arises between your wish to be helpful and your needs to relax or to have that time for yourself. So if you explain that to you in that way, you might at least don't feel that selfish or bad anymore. Number 5. That's the most important one. Don't relapse. So stick to your no and don't take it back afterwards, because otherwise people will stop respecting you and your boundaries. And this isn't that even the worst. The worst is that you might even lose your self-respect. So always practice those tips in future and people will respect you more. And they will respect you as this high-value feminine woman that you are. Saying no doesn't mean that you always have to say no. Of course, if it's someone that was always helpful for you and you also want to give back, or if it's a very important thing and you feel like helping, then of course go ahead and help and say yes. But in this video I'm specifically relating to those situations in which we often say yes out of, those feelings of obligation, or out of the simple fact that we cannot say no. And I know that there are many of us. Those tips are there to protect you. Protect yourself when it's necessary. And remember that also saying no is an act of self-love in specific situations, and especially for us women. So I give you a short resume of the 5 tips. Number 1 was take some time to think about it. Number 2, redirect the request. Number 3, don't get involved in a discussion. Number 4, look at feelings of guilt with a distance, the rational way. And number 5, don't relapse. So if this video was helpful for you and you liked it, then I'm sure that my video about feminine confidence will also be helpful and interesting for you. I will link that for you here and you can watch it afterwards, and I will see you there. So bye bye!